Now let's talk a little bit more with Judge Andrew Napolitano about some of the details we learned, as we just said yesterday. Judge, good to have you. They revealed these text messages, maybe a little bit surprising that they were going there, but there was obviously a reason why they wanted to do that. In a way, it's a confession. Will it be admissible? Because he is not cooperating, and we saw him in a sort of I guess it's called suicide vest yesterday via that WebEx camera.
Well, you know, most lawyers, Bianca, would tell their clients not to cooperate with the government. However, this is a very unusual case, not because the victim was a celebrity and pivotal figure in our society today, but because of the tremendous publicity on it, but because of the volume of evidence against him. I mean, the evidence of his guilt is overwhelming. The government doesn't need his cooperation. Will the text messages to the roommate/lover reach the eyes of the jury? So there's two ways to look at it. One is, this is hearsay. These are out-of-court statements made by somebody who's not going to make them again in court.
While the judge is answering, folks. I just want to put them up while you're answering. Yep, hearsay.
Okay, but there's an exception to the hearsay rule, which is an admission. So these are clearly an admission. So a judge will call this, probably the same judge that we saw conduct the initial hearing yesterday. The defense lawyers will make a motion to suppress this and other things that he said, like the things he said to his parents. The government will say these are admissions and you should let them in. In my opinion, almost all judges would let this in. Because it's believable, it's probative, it tells you what his thinking was. There's no question but that he said it. If he gets on the witness stand in a pretrial hearing and says, that's not me, I didn't say it, somebody wrote this pretending to be me, well, that's a different story, but I don't think he's going to do that.
So, I just want to bring everyone up to speed. We had some breaking news, Judge, off the top of our show and into us now. Phoenix police are now saying there's not a threat attached to the concern of a bag that was left near Turning Point, USA. You know, in an abundance of caution, they said they evacuated the area. But they say it's not a threat, which is great news because we've seen people. This assassination has rocked the nation, rocked the world. And this case, no doubt, will be followed by so many. So it is critical, I think, too, as they move forward, how they proceed, because I heard one person I was interviewing yesterday, they don't want to botch this in any way, because what we saw with Kohlberger is then he gets some type of plea deal. Talk to us about the process, because there is the death penalty. There's actually a firing squad, but there's a process first, a conviction, and then it goes into death penalty.
So the Supreme Court of the United States has ruled for all death penalty cases in the U.S., state and federal, only juries can impose the death penalty. That would mean if there is a trial on his guilt, and I'm not so sure there will be, but if there is a trial on his guilt, there will be a second separate trial before the same jury on the issue of punishment. Jurors can't impose the death penalty just because they hate this guy or hate what he did. There's an algorithm they have to follow. They have to examine the aggravating and the mitigating factors. The aggregating factors, he slaughtered an individual in public and in front of thousands of people. He did it out of hatred. There was no moral or legal basis for what he did. Mitigating factors, he has no criminal background. He has no prior convictions. He's left a clean life. Should he be given a break? The jurors have to check those boxes. The aggravating factors must substantially outweigh the mitigating. Now, suppose he pleads guilty. What will happen to the death penalty?
Real quick, Judge, yes.
There will be a trial just on the issue of punishment, even though there would have been no trial on the issue of guilt.
All right. Well, thank you for walking us through the process there. We know it has just begun, and they are now trying to also assign him legal counsel. That was discussed yesterday at that first appearance. Thank you so much, Judge Andrew Napolitano. Always a pleasure, sir.
You're welcome.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.